My golf clubs don't fit. No deal.
They should fit, man.
You order now. Not only do you fit one set of clubs, we fit 2 sets of clubs. 'Cause that's what we do. Boom. Touchdown. Picked up the car, 2 days before New Year's, I think it was. I got a 2021 in 2020. Got the Model 3 Performance as promised. I said I was gonna do a follow-up video, and so here we are. I'm gonna do the follow-up. I'm gonna go over some of the things that I love about the car, go over some of the things that I hate about the car. But at the end of the day, ultimately, I love the car, but there are some flaws. So anyway, thing number 1, it's fast as shit. Like, this car is super fast. Like, once you get up there into like the 80s and you know, like that, it's not as fast, it doesn't pull as quick, but it definitely still has spunk. It just is always poking at you like, go fast, go fast, go fast. It gives you that more of like that genuine sport car response. It's not a supercar by any means. It don't sound like a supercar, none of that. It's just it's a definitely a very clever way to give you that excitement through something that's way cheaper and has the technology, and it's just a good balance. You know, I would definitely go with the Tesla, yo. The Model 3 Performance is fire. Thing number 2. So the delivery of the car was actually really fast. A lot of people have asked me, like, you know, how long did it take for me to get the car? I ordered the car and 2 weeks later I was there to pick it up. Touchdown. That's a touchdown. Thing number 3 is kind of on the fence. I'd say like the build quality. This is something that a lot of people do talk about. Some people say it's shitty, some people think it's great, whatever. For example, I didn't actually notice it until one day I got out of the car and I closed the door with the window down. When you close the door with the window down, all the stuff that's inside of the door does not feel secure. You can hear it, kind of everything rattling around and all that good stuff. Thing number 4, the cabin noise. I think that it is actually quieter than old cars and maybe a little louder than a newer car, but it's not what, for me or my experience, it's not what people make it out to be. I don't think that it's too loud at all. They're making it seem like I'm riding like the Flintstones, where I don't have the top on the jump and my feet are like on the ground, like, but no. I think it's fun. Thing number 5, the service of the car. So the service is actually really cool. It's very easy. You basically just go to the app and you schedule a service. You tell them what the problem is. They confirm that whatever it is, and everything is correspondence through the app. And so they fixed the body gap in the door, and then all of a sudden it sounded like my window was open when I got it back. So I had to reschedule something, have it take it back, did it all again. And then when I got the car back from the second go around, the Century Mode hard drive was removed from the vehicle. And in addition to that, it was in sport mode. So I imagine someone went test driving in my shit and they didn't want anyone to know, and they probably had a lot of fun with it because it's a really fucking fun car to drive. In addition to that, when they gave me my car back, it was so dirty. There's fingerprints all over, there's dust all over it. It's just like terrible. And no, so Tesla doesn't actually have a service center that washes the cars for you. They did give me a Tesla as a loaner. I thought that was really cool. The second time they gave me a Mini Cooper, which I thought was like Thing number 6, golf clubs. You saw it for yourself, it fit the golf clubs. I love that about my Tesla. And the only reason I don't know if it'll fit 3 is because I haven't tried it. I don't have 3 sets, but it definitely fit the 2 sets, and I didn't even have to put the seats down. Go Tesla. I love you, Elon. We should go play golf together. I will smoke you. Thing number 7, the summons. Oh boy, the summons. A great way to have used it in my case that I did was I parallel parked, right? And I get out the car and I'm at the meter and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not pulled up enough. So I just pulled out the summons and then pulled it forward a little bit, not being in the car. I thought that was a really dope thing, really convenient way to use the summons. However, it doesn't always work. Sometimes it doesn't always connect. So it's, you know, it's kind of whack. It has impressed me once or twice where I had it come around the building. I was at a motel at a video shoot. It was cool, and it came around from the other side of the building. I couldn't even see the car, and I had it come around to me. So I thought that was super duper dope. Super dope. So the summons is really fly. I don't know if it's worth $10,000 though. I don't know if it's worth $10,000. So I think Elon should bring that thing back down to 6,500, and I think it's worth closer to that. Even that might be a little much, but I think that it is pretty dope for sure.
Thing number 8.
In this car, being this is a performance and it comes with the bigger rims, they actually stick out a little further than the tire itself, so it's really easy to scratch the rims. If you hit a pothole, you know, like these are low profile tires, and again the rim actually sticks out a little bit further than the tire itself. So if they're like parallel parking, like you really have to pay attention, and just in general, because if you try to line it up, like if you're just looking at the car and you try to line it up thinking that you know where the tires are, you have to give it like an extra 6 inches just to be on the safe side, because the tires are like, they're big and they like stick out, and you will tear your rims all to pieces. But it just looks so good. It looks good that way though. So I don't know if that's a love or a hate.
Thing number 9.
I have found that the car actually does do a really good job. I think personally it's pretty accurate regarding the amount of distance that they say you're gonna get out of it. So if it shows that I have 159 miles to go, I will probably have closer to like 150, you know? So yeah, I say you get like anywhere between like 90 and 100%, because sometimes if you're driving like through the city streets, it actually will go from, it'll say, oh, you know, you have 52% on your battery, and if you're driving through the city a lot where you're stopping and going 50, and it'll actually go up a couple percent, which is really cool because of the regenerative braking. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I think that's a dope 5 points, Tesla. Thank you, Mr. Musk.
Thing number 10.
The car is like so cheap to charge it. It's so cheap. Like, I love that. $1.50 per 1 hour of charge. With that particular charger, it gives me 20 miles of charge per 1 hour. So basically for every 20 miles of charge that I get, or, you know, like I guess like a gallon of gas, if you want to look at it in a different way, it's $1.50. So I just let mine charge. I got maybe like 30% or something like that, 40%, and it cost me $4. What was it, $4.72? Something like that. But it's like super cheap. So these are the things that you gotta love. That, can't deny that. I love that. I love that part.
Thing number 11. 11.
The way you turn on the windshield wipers is here, right? When it starts pouring down and you kind of go into panic mode because you can't see shit in your new car, you're trying to turn on the windshield wipers. I couldn't figure out how to turn on the windshield wipers immediately because, you know, I had run across it and seen it, but it's kind of inconvenient that it's right there, and then I have to go and click a button, and I got to click another button. I have to do all this shit in order to turn on the windshield wipers. But now I actually set it to auto, so now I don't have to actually worry about finding it. Windshield wiper fluid doesn't have any windshield wiper fluid in it, so if I'm driving and my windshield gets all crazy, nasty, dirty, and I try to do the windshield wiper thing with the fluid, it doesn't have windshield wiper fluid in it. I have to go get that, and then I have to actually put it in myself.
Thing number 12.
The emergency hazard lights. I did not know how to turn on my fucking hazard lights. I pulled over, I had to pick up my Olive Garden, you know, I love my Zuppa Toscana with the salad on, you know how we do, bottomless everything. So I went to pick that up, so it wasn't that bottomless because it was to go. But I couldn't figure out how to turn on the hazards. So that was kind of irritating. For those of you who want to know, maybe I just am a little slower, I don't know, but it's right here. It's up here. So I was looking like, you know, all over the place, And in addition, you would think, like, you know, since everything is controlled by this motherboard iPad thing, you would think it'd be somewhere in there, with the fact that the windshield wipers are there and the lights are there, everything is there, but the damn hazard lights is up there. But, you know, now that I know where it's at, no big deal. We love our Tesla still.
Thing number 13.
One of the things that I think that is really stupid that Tesla has managed to do is the trunk. Like when you open the trunk, it actually opens further than the back of the car. So if you park too close to the wall, if you back up, if you back into your parking space and there's a wall, if you park too close to that wall, don't open the trunk, because the trunk will hit the wall for sure. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to open this trunk. See, it goes out and it goes further to the wall, or closer. So if I were to park any closer than that, this here would actually scrape against the wall. And if you notice how much space there is here versus how much space there is here. So in a situation like this is where I would actually use the summons if the car is too close. Go here, the summon feature comes up, and then you can literally just hold this down and the car will move forward. And it'll give me enough room so I can get into the trunk and get what I need to get out of it.
Thing number 14.
The trunk cabin. I actually use the trunk cabin more than I use the regular trunk, and I never use the actual frunk. The reason I don't use the frunk is because every time I go to close it, I leave fingerprints all over the damn front of the car next to the logo, because my fingers are oily from whatever it was that I was doing, because I'm trying to close the frunk. So back to the cabin part. In the trunk, there's a compartment underneath the main trunk. I use that all the time. So like if I get to go food, you know, like, which we're all doing a lot of right now, get our food to go, I put it in there and close it up, and it basically contains a lot of the smell from leaking all into the car and everywhere else. And if something happens to spill, I don't have to worry about it spilling like all over the place. It'll be in one confined place. And I personally like to keep a towel in mine, so then that way if anything does spill, then it'll spill on the towel. Dope. Noted.
Thing number 15.
Oh, this is something that I think is super dope. When you veer out of your lane, drift out of your lane a tiny bit, soon as the tires hit the line, the steering wheel will vibrate to let you know that you're out of your lane. Not anything alarming, it's just a simple little vibration in the steering wheel that lets you know that you're drifted out of your lane, or that the tires are hitting one of the lines.
Thing number 16.
The car sits a little low to the ground. And this is a thing. This is a thing. Because at first, this is a thing that I hated. But there's a trick to it. So the way that you get in and out of the car when you're a person of a height like mine is basically just put your ass in first, and then you slide your feet in. So maybe most people actually get into the car that way. I never have. I just have always like slipped in there like a, you know, like a, I don't know, like I'm in the passenger seat of a getaway driver car, and you just slide in that junk. But with this one, like, yeah, you just put your ass in first, get in, you're good. It's dope.
Thing number 17.
Oh, this is something that I fucking love. I absolutely love about the car. My phone is the key to the car, meaning that I never have to actually go hunting for my key. And then the key that I do have for the car, the physical one that they give you, you know, it just stays in my wallet just in case of emergencies if I leave my phone or something like that. But as long as I have my phone, we're good to go. And the other thing that I really love about that is when you're in the car and you park, say your windows and all that stuff are down, when you walk away from the car, not only does it lock the car, but it actually rolls up all your windows as well. So I think that that shit is just super dope. Like when you're not around the car, it basically protects itself like a turtle. Like it just closes up everything.
Thing number 18.
The simplicity of the interior of the car is actually beautiful. And now that I've had this car this long, every time I get into my other car, it just feels like I am in a place that has a hoarding problem, because I am surrounded by buttons and just more buttons and junk and just shit everywhere. So with this one, I like the fact that there's nothing obstructing my view, so I can see the street. If I want to see my speed, it's right there. Glance a little bit to the right, and it's literally right there. I don't, if you're doing 100 miles an hour, you can, first and foremost, you might not even look at the speed, but if you do, it's right there. It's like, it's by your hand. It's literally from like holding the shit, and I look at my right hand, I can see the speed. So I think it's dope. Like the simplicity of the interior is absolutely phenomenal to me. It took a little getting used to, but now I would never go back. I think it's dope.
Thing number 19.
It looks like it's actually a really small car. You feel like maybe like you're about to jump into a Prius, but when you actually get into the car, it has a lot of space in the cabin, and if you don't get a claustrophobic feel because you're surrounded by glass. The front windshield's huge. You can basically see the front of the car as you're driving, and it gives you just a sense of like more space and freedom in a way. But one thing that is super dope is that I'm 6'3", probably 6'4", depending on the day. In the morning I'm 6'4", at night I'm 6'3", because we shrink through the day. Look it up, it's true. And I have tons of space.
Thing number 20.
I love the fact that there's like no ignition, so you don't have to like start the car and turn it off. And once you get out of the car, you have your phone on you, walk away, car locks, windows roll up, everything's cool. You get in the car, it's already ready to go. You literally just put it in drive and get where you need to go. And when you get where you need to go, you don't even have to put the car in park. As soon as you open the door, it'll put itself in park. But it's like these little things that just make a huge difference that I think is like really important. I think it's just super dope. I appreciate that. I genuinely, wholeheartedly appreciate that. Thank you. That pretty much concludes like things that I hate about the Tesla, things that I love about my Tesla, and just things in general to just know. I'm gonna make more of these, and they're not all about my Tesla. Like, I just love the touchdown experience in general, you know what I mean? Like, we experience everything, you know, certain type of tequilas to like cars to food, like golf, like art, photography, video production. Like, I love a little bit of everything. So come on some of these experiences with me, yo. This is the touchdown experience. There's not many of those that happen per game. So here it is, man. Come with me. Hey, let's score this motherfucking touchdown. Salute.